What is energy? We all know about energy as it relates to physics, lightning and ohms and waves and light bulbs. But have you heard about subtle energy? Subtle energy is what we'll be talking about today. So stay tuned to learn what it is and how you can make sure that your subtle energy is in alignment with the feelings that you want to feel and the life that you want to live. Today's episode is so good. It is full of information on how to identify energy that you don't need to carry and tools that you can use to let that crap go. So stay tuned because today's episode is going to be amazing. Welcome to Jotindi, Journey to the Inner Divine, a sacred space for healing energy, emotional release, and soulful transformation. If you're ready to live with joy, ease, and purpose, you're in the right place. Today, we are talking about energy. Each of us are energetic beings, and we've talked a lot about how you can be affected by the energies around you. Today, I want to dive deeper into the forms of energy that we have and how you can protect your energy from being thrown off or negatively influenced by others. Of course, we have energy. We can conduct electricity, we produce body heat, and thanks to some interesting photography techniques, we can even capture visual representations of our biofield and the photons that we emit. It's pretty cool. But there's another form of energy that science is only really scraping the surface of. People have known about it for thousands of years, and they've developed many practices to help people balance, clear, and align it. It's called subtle energy. Subtle energies are often associated with various spiritual and holistic traditions like Buddhism, Hinduism, and traditional Chinese medicine. Some believe that they are not directly measurable by conventional scientific instruments. Some subtle energies like dark matter, gravity waves, and dark energy are recognized by science, though, but they're mainly measured by how they affect the things that they interact with rather than being measured directly themselves. For example, a thermometer. It measures the expansion of mercury due to heat rather than directly measuring the heat itself. Directly measuring all types of subtle energy with current scientific instruments is a huge challenge, particularly when dealing with energies that are weak, difficult to isolate, or not really fully understood yet. But that doesn't mean that we can't still work with what we do know. And we do know what makes us feel better, what makes us feel more aligned and happier. So we're going to dive into that. Subtle energies are thought to be what makes up prana, the life force in Hinduism and yoga, chi, the vital energy in traditional Chinese medicine, and chakras, which are from Hinduism and are considered vital for your health and well being. I want to give you a little overview of the chakras because they're so prevalent in popular culture, and I do talk about them a bit. Chakras are thought to be the intersections of energy channels in your subtle body. They influence your physical organs, your emotions, your mental states, but they're not physical structures by themselves. They're just energy centers. And there are 7 main energy centers that people focus on when they talk about the chakras. They're situated in an energetic channel that runs up your spine, through your body from the base of your tailbone to the top of your head. And energy is thought to flow through this channel, and each chakra is like a little energy vortex. And when one becomes blocked, it can cause a lot more problems up the line. It stops the flow of energy through the whole channel. So, your main chakras are first of all, the root chakra. This one's located at the base of your spine, and it's associated with grounding and security and survival. Then the next up, you have your sacral chakra located just below your belly button and your lower abdomen. And this is associated with creativity, sexuality, and your emotions. Above that, we have the solar plexus chakra, which is in your upper abdomen. And this one's associated with personal power, self esteem, and your digestion. And for me, historically, this is the one that I have the most trouble with. A blocked solar plexus can feel like nausea, digestive issues, lightheadedness, and emotionally, it can lead to low self esteem, feeling powerless, difficulty making decisions, fear of criticism, judgment, rejection. And when I notice these feelings are off, For me, anyway, a good solar plexus meditation always makes me feel a lot better. Above that one, you have your heart chakra located in the center of your chest. And this one is associated with love and compassion and relationships. In your throat, you have your throat chakra, and this one is associated with communication, self expression, and truth. Above that, there's your third eye chakra located in the center of your forehead, associated with intuition, insight, and imagination. And then on the top of your head, there's the crown chakra associated with spirituality, connection to the divine, and higher consciousness. And it's not important which energy center idea, like chakra, chi, or prana, that resonates most with you. What's important is that you can find a practice that helps you feel energetically aligned and peaceful and safe in your body. Some indications that your energy might be off can include if you're feeling drained, irritable, physically ill, or anxious when you're around other people or after you leave certain people's presence. That's probably a residual energy. If you are reliving uncomfortable situations, you are having trouble speaking your truth, you're having unpleasant emotions like jealousy, bitterness, anxiety, or you're feeling disconnected from yourself, or you're feeling a lack of purpose. It's also believed that it can manifest as physical symptoms, including things like lower back pain, heart problems, and blood pressure issues. Now, like the title of our episode says, I want to talk about releasing energy that isn't yours. Some people believe in entity attachments or otherworldly beings that can kind of hitch a ride with you. They're like energy parasites. They feed off of you and drain you at the same time. Entity attachments are believed to occur when an entity finds a connection point, like a person's vulnerabilities, unresolved trauma, or really strong emotions. But if you listen to my previous episode about emotions, I don't believe that having strong emotions makes us vulnerable to energetic attack. I believe that when we have strong emotions and we're able to hold space for ourselves to experience them and learn from them and grow through them, we become stronger and less likely to be vulnerable to other energies. People who believe that they have these energy hitchhikers can report hearing things like unexplained voices or whispers, intrusive thoughts, sudden mood swings, feeling a presence around you, or mental struggles that don't respond to traditional treatment. And there's many more, but since I am not 100% sold on the idea that we are able to be psychically attacked without our consent, I will mainly be focusing on whether we carry or absorb other people's energy and how to protect yourself or rid yourself from that. So, what do I mean when I say that we carry or absorb other people's energy? I mean that we're all walking around with our own unique set of beliefs and experiences and thought processes. And since we're all unique individuals, this collection of beliefs and experiences will determine what our baseline resonance is or the frequency of energy that we give off. Our energy field is comprised of subtle energy, like I mentioned earlier, as well as measurable electromagnetic fields and photons, and this energy field extends out past our physical body and it interacts with everything that comes within range. So when we come into contact with other people, our energy fields cross and we can be affected by the other person. Have you ever known someone who was just the life of the party? Like, no matter where they go or what they do, they're always happy and having a good time, and it feels good to be around them. They have high vibration energy, and that has an effect on us. But the same goes for Debbie Downer at work. Those people who are always angry about something, and as soon as you get around them, you start to feel instantly drained because you know that they're about to launch into a 10-minute monologue about their latest injustice. It's like you can feel the negativity radiating from them and it brings you down. And that's what I'm talking about. When you become affected by somebody else's energy field, sometimes it's really obvious, like this example, and sometimes it's not so clear. Sometimes you don't even realize that the vibration was lowered by someone or something, and yet here you are hours or days later, and you still can't seem to shake this yucky feeling that you've got. It's like coming home from the beach and realizing you still have sand stuck all over you. You have to wash it off. So, here are some other types of energy that we carry around that isn't ours. One would be family and generational patterns. Beliefs, fears, or even physical sensations can be passed down, like a scarcity mindset. We don't do things like that in our family, or this inherited guilt or shame around certain things. This can feel like you're living a story that isn't really yours, but for some reason it's still kind of stuck to you. Two would be cultural or collective energy. And this is carrying the weight of cultural expectations, systemic oppression, or even a collective fear, like what happens during a crisis or an election or a global event. Sometimes it can feel like a cloud of heaviness that everyone's tapped into. And we've definitely had a lot of this over the last 5 years with COVID leading into this political turmoil that's going on right now. Energy of the country just feels very heavy, in my opinion. Number three would be empathetic absorption. And this is when you feel physically drained, anxious, or angry after being around certain people, even though you weren't feeling that way before. Empaths often mistake this for their own personal emotions when they've actually absorbed them from somebody else. Four is energetic imprints from places. And this would be like being in a room or a home where there was a conflict or grief or trauma. And suddenly those feelings, those emotions, you can kind of feel them welling up in yourself. It's like the place has a residual energy that's lingering that hasn't been cleared out. And when you step into it, it starts to affect you. Some people describe this as walking into like thick air or feeling unsettled for no clear reason. I was on a ghost hunt of a hospital that had had some crazy stuff happen in it. And there was one room in particular where they said people reported feeling an uneasy feeling a lot, especially women. It was a maternity ward. And when I got in there, I definitely picked up on that energy. It felt very unsafe. It felt yucky. It felt sad and just very dangerous, even though it was just an abandoned place and there was nobody there but us. The next one, five, would be unresolved roles or expectations. So, taking on responsibility energy that isn't yours, for example, feeling like you need to be the peacemaker in your home, or you need to be a caretaker for somebody who maybe should have been caretaking you, or you need to fix problems for other people in order to maintain your own safety. Carrying the weight of those roles that you never consciously chose can be another form of energy that you're carrying around that isn't yours. Number six would be energetic cords and attachments. This is just staying connected to past relationships. Even if you're no longer in touch, you can feel their moods or you think of them obsessively or you get hooked into their energy. And this can be loving, like family bonds, but it can also be very draining if it's a toxic relationship or was a toxic relationship that you just have trouble letting go of. And number seven, media and digital energy. This one is obviously relatively new when we're talking about the history of the world, but absorbing the anxiety or the outrage or the grief that you scroll past online, your feed constantly bombards you with other people's energy. And if you don't actively curate your timeline or your For You page to reflect exactly how you want to feel, it is very easy to get overwhelmed by all kinds of negativity and injustice and terrible things that are happening in the world. And I myself had to take a break from social media because my algorithms were showing me all kinds of stuff that were putting me in a terrible mood and I just couldn't handle it. And in order to protect my own energy and my own mental health, I had to take a hiatus from social media. But you know what? It felt really good. And I actually recommend everyone do this from time to time. So, how do we recognize that this energy is not yours? If you suddenly feel a strong emotion, but you can't trace it to your own life or thoughts, that's an indicator. If your mood shifts dramatically after being around a specific person or a place without any sort of clear indication as to why that happened. You notice patterns of thought or behavior that don't align with who you know you are on the inside. Something feels off, like somebody's hijacked your thoughts. Or you're carrying a heaviness or responsibility that doesn't make any logical sense. The main theme with this is if you are carrying around energy that isn't yours, It's not going to flow with your life. Obviously, if something happens that is negative in your life, you're going to have a negative reaction to it. That makes logical sense. But if you're just going about your day doing daily things and nothing bad happens, and all of a sudden you have like a wave of sadness or a wave of anger come over you with no clear indication as to why that's happened, that could be an indicator that you're picking up something that you don't need to be picking up. So, how do we wash off this energetic sand that's become stuck to us? Let's put together an energetic toolkit so we can pull tools to clear out this energy when we need to. First up, we've got breath work. We use sacred breath to draw in positive vibes from the universe and exhale the things that are not serving you. You're going to use intention and focus on what you want to draw in and what you want to release with each breath. 2, we've got water cleansing. Showers, baths, swimming, or even rinsing your hands while imagining the water washing away anything that's not yours. Again, the intention matters here. Setting an intention and focusing on that intention while you let the water do its thing is how this is going to be effective. Number 3, we've got sound healing. I love me some sound healing. You can use singing bowls, bells, chimes, or even your favorite song to shake loose and recalibrate your energetic field. The vibration of the sound will help you begin to vibrate at that level instead of the low vibe state that you're feeling right now. Number 4, we've got grounding. Grounding is fabulous, and it is a very underutilized tool that is available to everybody at all times. This is just stand barefoot on the grass or soil, lean against a tree, spend a few minutes in direct sunlight. Just allow the energy from the earth to flow into you and help clear out the stuff that is not working for you. The earth is so powerful. It's enormous. It's what gives us life. It's how we are sustained. So it makes sense that when you come into direct contact with it, it's going to help you feel better. I think this is why so many people love the beach, because if you think about it, you're spending all day with your feet in the sand, you go swim in the water, you are basically in direct contact with the earth all day long. So, of course, it's going to put you in a good mood. And lastly, we've got number 5. If you are the witchy type, you can do a spell or a ritual to cleanse your spirit and protect you from absorbing negative energies. And if you're not that type, prayer and calling on your higher power to assist you in cleansing your energy and protecting you in the future can be a very powerful way to achieve this too. So now we've got some ways to combat this once it's happened, but how do we protect yourself from it happening in the first place? Well, you can do a number of things. One is to have strong boundaries and enforce them. You can avoid toxic situations. You can raise your vibration through meditation, sound healing, tapping. You can practice self care, including grounding. And one thing that you can incorporate into your daily routine would be an energy shielding visualization. So each morning, you're going to imagine yourself surrounded by a protective sphere of light. It can be white or gold or violet, however you feel comfortable. You have to see it as porous. So you let love and good vibrations in, but it's impermeable to negativity or manipulation. And this isn't just woo woo. Your subconscious actually takes this instruction and it will adjust your behavior and your awareness accordingly. This is why I mentioned earlier that setting an intention is so important because when you set intentions, your mind subconsciously adjusts your behavior to make this a reality in your life. So, like I've touched on before, what you focus on expands. So, setting that intention to have a great day, to protect your energy, it can have a massively positive effect on you. And this practice is great if you know you're going to be entering a situation where you are bombarded with negative energy. Like if you have a Debbie Downer coworker that you just cannot avoid and you know you're going to be around them. This is a great practice for that. Another is centering and grounding before entering a challenging environment. If you're going to be going into a meeting or a party or a family reunion, Take 30 seconds to connect to your breath and imagine roots going from your feet deep into the earth. And this makes it hard for people to knock you off your energy center because you are rooted and you are grounded. You can wear energetic allies like certain crystals and stones. Crystals like black tourmaline, obsidian, or hematite can help absorb and transmute negative energy. But finding stones that align with your desires and your struggles can be a deeply personal experience. And even if you choose one that's not specifically for absorbing negative energy, you can still find ones that are going to help you achieve the energetic balance that you're searching for. For example, I am very drawn to citrine for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but it keeps showing up, and I'm gathering quite a collection. I do have a necklace pendant that I picked up when I wanted to help draw in abundance and prosperity. But later, I learned that citrine is also good for balancing your solar plexus chakra. Ding, ding, ding. We talked about that earlier. My solar plexus always needs some help. And it can help give you a confidence boost as well as helping to channel your chaotic energy into something more constructive while bringing in joy and positivity. So, of course, I'm drawn to that stone. It sounds perfect for me. If you need help choosing a crystal that you can carry with you, you can shoot me an email, mariah@mariahaurora.com, and give me a few sentences about your struggles and a few about your desires, and I can send you back some recommendations. There is one more way that you can help protect your energy moment by moment. It's a very simple shift you can make. All you have to do is use your body language and your posture as a shield. When you stand tall with your shoulders back, your chin lifted, it sends a subconscious message of strength. And it isn't just confidence, it tells people, I'm not available for your drama. We should also touch on things that open you up to less than desirable energetic experiences so that you can avoid them when you need to. These are things like low blood sugar, exhaustion, overworking, or even scrolling on social media. When you're depleted, these will all lower your energetic defenses. And I'm sure you've had an experience where you're just feeling exhausted and someone tries to start an argument with you. Either you concede because fighting is too much energy, or you say something you wouldn't normally say, or it ends up in a big giant blowout. Keeping your basic needs met is one of the most practical protections that you can offer yourself. True self care, and I'm not talking about a shopping spree or getting your nails done. I mean, deeply nourishing things that you can do for yourself, setting boundaries, giving yourself adequate rest and recovery time, practicing self forgiveness. Those things are going to allow you to maintain your energetic boundaries better. And sometimes, though, you must just disengage to protect your energy. And that is perfectly acceptable. If somebody's energy feels heavy, you can soften your gaze, you can breathe into your own space, and you can subtly turn your body slightly away from them. This shifts the energy exchange without confrontation. Or maybe excusing yourself entirely from the interaction is warranted. You do not need to subject yourself to someone's toxic energy out of politeness or fear of offending them. Their feelings are their responsibility, and they're allowed to feel how they feel. That shouldn't be your problem. Recently, I've been seeing this a lot in the dating world. I have heard so many horror stories of dates and women just gritting their teeth and waiting for the date to be over. But you don't have to do that. You are well within your rights to get up at any moment and excuse yourself from the rest of the planned activities if the person that you are with is offensive, rude, misogynistic. Why would you waste your time and subject yourself to potential trauma? Just get up and leave. You don't even have to be polite about it if you don't want to be. They weren't polite when they went on a rant about how women shouldn't have equal rights or whatever BS they were spouting. No, they don't care about your feelings, so you don't have to worry about theirs. You just worry about yourself. And you can create a practice that you can do to help maintain your energy. This is a great idea. You can think of it like brushing your teeth. Consistent cleansing practices, like the ones we talked about earlier, mean that you're never going to let energetic residue build up enough to make you sick or sluggish. You go out of your way to take care of your physical health by eating healthy or exercising, getting enough sleep. So make sure that you're also taking care of your energetic health and well being as well. Here's the thing, so much of what weighs us down isn't even ours. When we start noticing these moments, with a heavy emotion or a story or a responsibility that doesn't quite fit. We open the door to freedom. Recognizing what's not yours is the first step to protecting your energy and realigning with who you truly are. And remember, your energy is sacred. When you keep it clear, you get to show up in your own light, lighter, freer, in more flow. So as you move through your week, I invite you to pause and ask yourself, is this really mine to carry? And if the answer is no, let it go. And if you want some extra support with tools to help you release and realign, don't forget to grab today's freebie, the Energy Drain Detector, where I share simple emotional, mental, and energetic checks that you can do, as well as offer you a short list of quick energy resets that you can implement if you realize your energy is off and you need to bring it back into alignment quick. There's a link in the show notes, or you can go to mariahaurora.com/freebies/energy drain. So thank you for being here with me today. This information is going to change your life if you let it. And if any part of this episode resonated with you, share it with someone. You never know what people are going through or how profound of a positive effect you can have on them when you do something small to show that you care. And if you want to support me and help me keep putting out these episodes that can lead you to the life that you are dreaming of, take a moment to rate or review the podcast. It helps the platforms know that it's good content so they can share it with more people. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, protect your energy, and keep coming back to your inner peace. Remember, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path.